We can't believe that censorship attempts only happen in states like Alabama and Mississippi and Florida. They can happen right here in our own backyard. We need to not shy away from doing the right thing. We need to have conversations. We need to build relationships. A way that we do that here at our library is we greet everybody that comes through the door. We talk to people. We listen to them. We are respectful about different ideas. We try to be compassionate. We don't judge. We offer options. I wish that the 2 women who wrote the letter had wanted to talk to me first, because I'm sure that I could find a lot of materials in our library that would be what they would be looking for. Um, we need to be ready to answer questions and to educate. And again, we need to be unafraid to stand up for doing the right thing. Everybody has the right to question what's in the library, and I have to be ready to explain why we do what we do. And to show them that we have material that reflects them. We have material that reflects everybody in our community. So here's the important part. How can you be an ally? You need to show up in every way. Go to your libraries. When you see a pride display, take a moment to tell somebody there that you appreciate it. When you see a display that makes you think, tell somebody that you appreciated it because it opened your mind. If you don't find enough books on a certain topic, tell us so that we can figure out what's going on, so that we know that you have an opinion or a feeling about it. Write letters to elected officials, write letters to your newspapers, attend school board meetings, go to your town councils, go to your library board meetings. Um, I highly recommend uh, that your voice is heard on social media. If you have authors that you like, if you've gone to a program where a speaker has said something that you found profound, follow them on social media. When they post something, like it, interact with it. It's hard for us, everybody, to know how people are feeling unless you share your feelings. We don't know we have support unless you share your support. Also, take the time to read a diversity of books. Try to read a book that represents somebody different than you, presents a different point of view, tells a story of somebody who may be different than you. And yes, you can broaden your horizons by reading fiction. We have fiction writers of all backgrounds that are telling stories of all kinds of people. Um, talk to I know one book group who decided that each person would read a banned book and then they'd all report back on it and talk about it. It's a great way to share your experience reading banned books. So I am going to say thank you. I hope that this helped you understand what happened, how we responded, why it matters, and how you can be an ally. And I would be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you so much. That was just amazing. I've been taking notes as fast as I can, Adrienne. And personally, I want to get a copy of the ALA, library Bill of Rights. I think that it's just amazing and it states so well how we feel about things. I want to remind all of our participants, we want your questions. We have tried to allow time with each of our speakers so that you can ask questions. But we're going to have you do it through chat, because it's a more time economical way of handling your questions. We've got 2 people who want to know, Adrienne, how do you find a list of books that are appropriate, age appropriate for children or for anyone? Where would you get that? I want to remind you, Adrienne, that
All right, can you hear me now? All right, great. So let's talk about the word appropriate first. Okay. So what may be appropriate for one person isn't necessarily appropriate for another person. What's appropriate for one child who's 10 years old may not be appropriate for another child that's 10 years old. So what we have resources that can help guide you to find books that are appropriate for your particular situation, for what you particularly want to find. And we have many ways to do that. So on the library's website, for example, we have curated lists. So if you wanted a list of books on the transgender experience, you could look at that list. We have lists for books to help kids learn their alphabet pre-kindergarten. So that's a way that you can gather together a list quickly on what you want. We also subscribe to some online products, one of which is called Novelist. We subscribe to Novelist pre-K through 12th grade, as well as an adult version. What's wonderful about that is that you can search it for recommendations and implement any number of filters. You can put grade level filters. You can put reading level, Lexile, for example, filters. You can deselect certain topics if that's not appropriate in your mind. You can search for books on certain subjects within those parameters, or certain types of characters, or certain types of books, adventure, mystery, whatever. Very, very powerful tool. As well, you can always talk to us at the library. We are happy to point you in the direction of books that are going to satisfy your particular needs. So we have a lot of tools, including the people here, to help you find lists that get you where you want to go. I hope that answers your question.
And that is for all libraries, Adrian, not just your particular library.
That is correct. All libraries, maybe they don't buy novelists, but they buy a different product. And all librarians want to help you find those books you need.
And our second person, but I think you kind of answered the question, wanted to know where they could get a list of banned books.
Ah,
I think they like the idea that you suggested of having everybody in the book club read a banned book, which I'm going to take to my book clubs also. I think it's great.
yes. Norlin, what I'd love to suggest is that I email you with some resources and that you could share out with the attendees in your group.
Absolutely.
Great, because I have lots of lists. You're going to enjoy that.
Okay, because and they are lists of books that are banned.
Oh yes, yes indeed.
Oh, that'll be terrific.
Yes, and that reminds me as well. The library, with support from the Library Foundation to pay for it, we now participate in the online space for banned books to make available banned books to any child. I think it's between the ages of 12 and 18, regardless of where they live in the country. They have electronic access to any book that's been banned.
Oh, that's an amazing resource. That is just wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, would love to stay with you more and pick your brain even more, Adrienne, but I will certainly share anything you send me. And we want to thank you so much. I think I speak for everybody in saying I learned so much.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that.
That was just absolutely wonderful. One last question, and then we need to move on quickly,
Sure.
is do you have any solutions if someone wants to ban a book in a library, in a school, or is that in your purview, or should we wait and have our second speaker speak to that issue?
I can speak to in the public library. So as you remember, I spoke about our collection development document. It's extremely detailed. It's 13 pages long. It talks about why we collect things, how we collect it. So we always have that to fall back on to explain to somebody why an item is in the collection. If that is not satisfying the person's question, there is a formal reconsideration process where they fill out certain forms and explain, and then that would get moved on to a board is convened to review the item, the person's complaint, and as compared to our collection development policy. That's the process it would go through.
Okay, and if participants have further questions, our next speaker, Sina Trigas, will be able to address what's going on in schools. And thank you again so much, Adrienne. You've just been wonderful.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
So I'd like to introduce our next speaker, who is Sina Trigas of the AAUW Subcommittee on School Boards. She has an MA in American History from NYU, New York University, a BA in Political Science from George Washington University, former board president of the San Diego County School Boards Association, a former board member and president of San Marcos United School District. She's also a former Carlsbad Planning Commissioner and former Carlsbad Library Board Trustee and President. So some similarities with Adrienne's background, and then she is going to tell us all about book banning in schools. Thank you so much for being with us, Sina.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me get on the slide, and thank you for the introduction. And yes, the libraries are very dear to me as president and member of the board of trustees of the Carlsbad Library, and for many years. So yes. So let me get on for sharing screen. If I can put this on, share. Does everyone have it?
Yes.
Okay, very good. I know we have some of the outside. I've been on a school board for many years, and this issue is not new. In fact, in the 1980s and 90s, we had incidents of the extreme right trying to take over school boards, bringing on their particular agenda. The difference now, though, probably more than anything, is that it has much more of a united front, better organization across the country. It also has social media, and that is a major difference in the effect. So our public policy committee, AAUW California, decided that this is a critical issue, and we established a subcommittee and dealing with, obviously, school boards, and it's a school board project. So I want to go through the background. I also feel